Hello there. Hello. So, yeah. This time we're talking about. Wait. I was about to say Nintendo, but the issue about this though is I don't want to get called. I don't want to go say, the big, Nintendo and Mario go, Mamma Mia, on top of me, and I'm just and Mario go say, what you doing over there? And all that, because this time we're looking back at Pokemon fan games. So, yeah, like, we all know about Pokemon. Like, it is a franchise that we all know and love. It has, it started with, cards, video games, movies, and, all of and even merchandise and such. But one thing that ended up, was really making, say, big was the video games. But just like anything, some fans go and say, can we add our own stuff to it? And such? Well, yeah, that's what ended up happening. So, when it comes down to it, folks have been trying to, create their own Pokemon fan games for a long time. One thing that happened, when emulation, what ended up happening was, say, the ability of ROM hacking, modifications of pre-existing games became popular with the Pokemon community, and have maintained just probably as technology to, cause, say, okay, let's take this game and try to, make it better so it can, have a original game out of it. So one of the original ones of the bootleg Pokemon games, a pair of bootleg Pokemon games that were the earliest, were Pokemon Diamond and Jade.
He's a bitch. Look, more Aussies. But I have a level 4 Aussie, and that Aussie's only level 3.
Call these monsters, right?
Yeah.
And they call you...
Based on Kyoto, they do Telefang series, which were cited as probably inspirations for many early ROM hacks. That if you're interested about this, ROM hacks hacks tend to add new content, such as custom storylines, new game mechanics, and other features not present in the original game. So this would be a way of say, okay, don't worry, Nintendo, don't worry, we're actually creating our own thing, and such. And then one also thing that would lead to this, many fan-made games also add fan-made Pokemon species known as Fakemon. Here's an example. In 2007, there was in the 2000 release of Pokemon Essentials. A RPG Maker XP game made it easier for fans to produce these fan games, allowing a greater ease of creation than before. So, Pokemon, there was a bit of, say, as always, okay, Nintendo going, say, and Pokemon going, say, what are you doing? We don't think we like this. So, if there, when it comes back to, say, there are quite a lot of Pokemon fan games that are, I'm gonna say it, there are a lot of them that are fairly interesting. Say you'd have Pokemon Apex. This one was made by Nathan Gunshire. It was a fan-made Pokemon game designed for adult fans of the series. The game focused on the player character being sent to another world where the player must ally Pokemon to stop a cult from trying to destroy the world. Honestly, I'm gonna say, that sounds kind of awesome. It sounds very different than what I would usually think when I think Pokemon. Then you would have, say, Pokemon Brick Bronze from 2015, created by Liam Train Studios. is a fan-made Pokemon game made using Roblox.
Burns are nasty business. They cut a Pokemon's attack power as well as hurt your Pokemon each turn. Now I'll burn you. No. Oh. Okay. Come on, please. Ah, no. I don't care about Litleo.
It would eventually be removed from the platform in April 2018 by Roblox administration. After Nintendo going say, do I need to get the things out because I will go bring out down holiness or not that. So the game was regularly reaching tens of thousands of concurrent users. It was on many Pokemon games on Roblox, though it was widely considered the most extensive. Though I know what you probably think, what are the Pokemon in this game? They were mostly 3D block style, with things you'd be expecting from Roblox. Other ones you would expect, like with Pokemon Crystal Clear. It came out in November 13th, 2013, from Shock Slayer. It was a ROM hack of Pokemon Crystal that makes many changes to the original game designed to prioritize player freedom. Many rare species of Pokemon are more common, and players are allowed to battle the game's bosses in any order. Oh, that would sound so great. That means I could go immediately to the legendary Pokemon and go, say, I caught the mask, I got the never fail ball. And because honestly, one thing that I would always do when it comes to the games, I would just say, yeah, I would try to find that ball immediately, because once I was there, I just go say and get it. Yeah. Or I wanted to find say from 2007, Pokemon Essentials. Like previously I said, this one was made from Pokemon RPG Maker XP that allowed players to create their own Pokemon games using assets from official games. So there will be other ones that you would think of, like Photomon from Michael Mullet. It's a turn-based, choice-based period based in OpenType, a popular font format. So the Pokemon in the game are based around real-world fonts, while the game's narrative takes many elements from Minnesota, and the player chooses their path ahead by selecting a different letter on their keyboard, with each one choosing a different attack to use against the opponent. Fairly interesting. What I think is interesting, and I'd feel say, okay, I think this would be interesting if it was real. If Nintendo thought, say, there are lots of something over there. Like Pokemon, A Star in the Desert. This one, interesting, is that you woke up, dragged along a desert with no memories of how you got there. You soon found yourself tagging along with a timid but well-meaning, Sobble to take down various outlaws in this rough region has to offer. And it made this interesting, and what is interesting was that, you yourself were starring as one of the Pokemon, which actually I think this was actually one of the Pokemon games that ended up being created, in which I think it's Pokemon Dungeon. I think there was a Pokemon game where you become a Pokemon and you go on an adventure with a bunch of other Pokemon.
Hop, 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 hop. We get attacked by a lovely Magby and a Macago.
Had other games say Pokemon Infernal Red and Natural Green. This one was a fan-made remake of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green in the style of Gen 5. They follow the same story but have small changes and additions throughout. And the one thing the feature of this game was, though, it was re-embark on a exploring the region of the Kanto region. And becoming a master. You take on the gym leaders, stop Team Rocket, and conquer the Pokemon League. you'd harness the power of Mega Evolutions with both new and old Megas. So that's awesome. Like, the Mega Evolutions would be, a idea that would be coming up, like, as Pokemon later go on. And, you'd also have the music remastered in this game as well. Here's how one I think is interesting. Pokemon Deep Blue. And I'm going to say, like, from, like, what I've seen of this game, it looks like it'd be fairly cool. Kind of think it's pretty cool of some of these games, especially this game, is that, like, your Pokemon is right beside you. Which, like, when I think about it, like, yeah, that would be, like, say, a little thing you'd see in some Pokemon games and such, and even other RPGs. Also have, like, games like Pokemon Shiny Island. So, like, one of the things for this game is that, you play a character known as Maggie, and is a doctoral candidate of Pokemon research, studying under Professor Elm. And then, like, one thing that's happening is that after a red Gyarados at the Lake of Rage made news a year ago, Professor Elm has made studying alternately colored Pokemon a priority, and here on this newly unearthed island, they appear much more often. So that's kind of interesting. So it, like, gives you the idea of shiny Pokemon, which was, like, more relatively new a few years ago. I can remember in college, like, some of my friends say, oh, yes, I could get a shiny Pokemon and all that, That was always, like, said, like, like, the idea for when I was, like, oh yeah, this is really cool. That one had me very interesting, though, is Pokemon Infinity.
Ooh. Giratina, I've summoned you in hopes of persuading you to join my cause. We have an opportunity to... What the? How did you get here? There's no way you could have... Of course, Fawn. Must have figured out an alternative time-traveling method.
With some of the interesting things, but you work in the middle of a forest with no friction of who you are. With the help of the local professor and his assistant, you are thrust into an adventure around a mysterious island in hopes of regaining your memory. Fun times and tough challenges await. So first through 6th generation Pokemon and mechanics, 100 fake Pokemons, including regional forms, new evolutions, and original designs. And you can also have Unreal Time System, which means the world runs on its own time. So you could trade evolution Pokemon are available via other methods. 650 battle animations. That's honestly pretty cool that a lot of these creators are able to do all these things for some of these games. So, when it comes to Pokemon, like, fan games, what are some Pokemon fan games that you have played? Or when it comes down to, like, say, are you a creator? And have you ever thought, like, say, okay, this would be a game I would want to play and seen to be, turned into an official Pokemon game. I'm going to see you next time.